Hello, internet, and it is 2019. It's the first month, so you know what you're about to see is going to be every single book and what I thought about it because we're making lists. This is one of those infamous list videos. So, we're going to talk about some of the books that I read in 2019, specifically the worst fucking ones, the ones that I hated. I read a large number of books, okay? I read a significant number of books, a lot, more than 200. And when I say 250, the official number is up here in this corner. However, I was pretty indifferent about majority of books, okay? Like I'm a pretty nice person. I don't seem like it, but like I cannot like something and not hate it. But when I hate something, I hate it. You get me? So I'm going to talk about the 5 worst books. The 5 books that disappointed me so horribly. I'm going to talk about them. We going to spill the salt shaker over on these books because there's going to be so much salt coming out my mouth right now. So we're gonna go ranking starting at 5, going up to number 1. So number 5 is going to be Batman and the Nightwalker by Marie Lu. I just did not like this book at all. Like, the more I think about it, the less I like it. I think I gave it a 3 stars, kind of 2.5 on Goodreads, because it wasn't a horribly written book. It was just like the worst Batman iteration I have ever laid my 2 eyes upon. It was so terrible, so awful. Who was the main character? Because that wasn't Bruce Wayne. That was just some like average rich kid. Like, what? Where's the Batman in this Batman book? There was no Batman. That's where. There was no fucking Batman in this book. I am sorry, but you can't have a book about Batman and there be no fucking Batman. Like, and don't come at me, oh, well, Bruce Wayne is Batman, so if it's a book about Bruce Wayne, it's technically about Batman. No, the fuck it's not. Batman happens to daylight as Bruce Wayne. It's not the other way around. The secret persona is Bruce Wayne, not Batman. It's Batman, and his side job is Bruce Wayne. So it has to be about Batman, and like maybe 1 or 2 scenes where he happens to be dressed like Bruce Wayne. Like, that is quintessential Batman. Quintessential Batman. And this was not that. Not at all. And even the Bruce Wayne in this book wasn't Bruce Wayne, so you didn't even get me there. You made a book all about Bruce Wayne, but it not actually be Bruce Wayne, our little sad angry boy full of angst over watching his parents get murdered in an alley. What where was the angst? Where was the torture? It wasn't there. It wasn't there. I have a lot more to say on this subject, so you can watch my rant video about the book and also my book doctor about what I would have preferred for this book and what I would have envisioned for this book. No shade on Marie Lu, but girl, you did Batman wrong. So, book number 4. The Umbrella Academy. Now, this was by Gerard Way. And I know, there are so many of you out there like, oh, Gerard Way, oh, my poor beating soul, oh. Let me just say, I was in an angsty teen, really didn't care about music, and My Chemical Romance was like, not on my radar. I could have cared less. I thought it was a fake band that people talked about in teen movies on occasion. I was not in touch as a child. That is why I am weird and awkward now. I was a weird kid who did not care about things that other kids of my generation tended to care about. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, as it's sometimes hard for me to relate to others. But let's just say that maybe Gerard Way should have stuck to singing that music that I never listened to, because he sucks at coming up with writing. Like, oh, the idea of Umbrella Academy was so good. It was a good idea, I'll give it that. The idea of like kids that are just kind of wildly born just because like a catalyst, and all of a sudden women are giving birth to these weird superpowered kids. The idea of like a crazy sort of scientist adopting these kids and like training them to be superheroes, them having their own messed up family dynamic. Oh, yes, so much promised. And then it ended up sucking so hard, like, and not in a good way. Like, it just was bad. It was so bad. Alright, the plot was kind of everywhere. There was like weird pacing issues, and it didn't help that this was a graphic novel, which has less time to convey the story and really has to heavily rely upon the art and the pictures to progress the story in a well-communicative way. No, it just sucked. It sucked. It started with them young, skipped ahead to them being older. You didn't really know any history behind the characters, why they were the way they were, why they were having family issues. You kind of could only glean it. And I understand this is the first volume, but this first volume was basically the whole villain. It was like, here's the kids as teens, or here's the kids as kids. They grow up into adults with horrible lives. Oh no, here's the villain. And then they defeat the villain in the same volume. I mean, I assume that there's other villains, but they had a really good villain in this one. It being the sister, her powers, the reason why she became a villain. There was like some promise there for some tension, some good stuff. And it all was concluded in this first... It was disrespectful to me, and I didn't like it. Number 3. It's actually 2 books, because I couldn't decide which one I hated more. And they're both by the same author, and they're both in the series, and it's book 1 and 2, and it's Truth Witch and Wind Witch that can go straight in the garbage. I didn't like this series. It was so disappointing. It was so disappointing. I have heard so many good things by people that I trust on BookTube about like how great this is. I've heard, oh yes, the author, she's great. Like, her writing, female friendship, comparative to Avatar, yay! Like, girl, do not compare your book to Avatar, The Last Airbender, if you aren't prepared to deliver at least decently written characters. Like, there wasn't even that. Like, at least have your basics down, okay? At least have that. But yeah, it was just super disappointing. The magic system was disappointing. The structure of the world building was disappointing. There was just a lot of things that I felt like I, as the reader, had to do more work than the author did writing the book and making the plots and putting things together. Like, I felt like I was spending my time constructing and building the world and the people in it so that I could understand what I was reading, because there was just no depth to this book. It was just all surface level and not even like good. Like, there was a lot of stuff that just wasn't there. It just, like, it didn't have substance. It was bland chicken. Like, you know when you eat chicken but it don't got no seasoning and you're just like, like, it does the job, it fills you, but you're like, it could have been better, like, just add some spices. and then your chicken goes from 0 to 100 real quick. This was some bland ass chicken that they tried to serve me, and apparently everyone else on BookTube is totally okay with eating some bland ass chicken. Not me. Give me some Creole seasoning, cause I ain't putting that in my mouth again. No, thank you, sir. Straight in the trash with that garbage. The second, number 2. We got The Rose and the Dagger by Renee Ahdieh. I have a whole video talking about this book. Talking about how I would have preferred it. What I didn't like. What I thought could have happened. Again, another book that people have mentioned to me. Who have been like, my girl Renee Ahdieh and her book. And I'm like, I'm sure she's a nice person. Because this book sucked, okay? This is supposed to be an Arabian Nights retelling between the Emperor and Shahrazad, and the fact that she has to tell stories to survive because the Emperor has been killing these women. And I'm not even going to get into what I thought the book should have been, because you can watch my previous video on this, it was The Wrath and the Dawn, the first book. See, I don't even care enough to not confuse the first book with the second book. I did read portions of the second book, like the first couple chapters, and it was just as big a trash. So I guess I can talk about it here. But I did finish the first book, which was actually Wrath and the Dawn. But the whole series, the whole duology, whatever, they're both garbage, so it doesn't even matter. I don't care. They were just garbage, and they were awful, and Shahrazad was like a little piss baby. She was so irritating, so annoying. All the other characters were annoying. I'm really tired of like YA's little angsty bad boy, poor tortured soul thing, and like it's just like, fuck dude, like stop. Like I am not here to be your mama and baby you while you cry all day about your problems. Like learn how to respect others and like not yell at them. I'm sorry, like you're just gonna have to grow up at some point. Like it's not my responsibility. I'm here to date you, not to raise you. Like that's how I felt, and that is how I feel with a lot of these quintessential little boys in these in these YAs. And I understand that I am past the teenage age. I understand that I am not technically the audience that YA is catering to. However, I never cared for it even when I was a teenager. Definitely don't care for it now. And I don't feel like it should be something that is in books, that is acceptable. Like we should not be expecting partners to raise their partners. Like that's just fucking ridiculous. You shouldn't get into a relationship with a person who has the mentality of a fucking child. I'm sorry. Like both of them were really bad in this book. Like you shouldn't be raising your partner. You shouldn't. Not at all. Like, and I feel like my argument for this is they should have been acting more adult-like, given the situation of the whole book, that even though they are still teenagers, they should have a more mature attitude about it. It was garbage, alright? Stabber in the eye. I did not like this. And book number 1. We've reached it. The worst book of 2018 that I laid my eyes upon. Actually, I think I laid my ears upon, because I listened to this on audiobook. And I just kept reading it because it just kept getting worse. And that was The Pennyroyal Academy by M.L. Larson, I believe. Anyway, I have a whole video again about like every one of these books. I think I have a video about, except Umbrella Academy, but it was garbage, so like what does it matter? I've already told you all my thoughts. But Pennyroyal Academy was this major disappointment about this girl who is fucking raised by dragons. Her dad is a dragon. She has a dragon sister. She acts like a dragon. She just happens to be in this human casing. So she finds out that people are hunting down her family, her dragon family, and I'm about to kill this fucking cat. Why? Stop. No. Quit it. What are you doing? Get away from my camp. Like, that's what you get for being a fool. As I was saying, she decides that she's going to go and be trained at like this princess academy. She gets accepted, and then everything goes down here. The academy setting fucking sucks. I thought it would be kind of good because I like school settings. No, it was horrible. Also, they make some jokes in here that I was just like, it revolves around this boy being accepted as a princess, and the jokes that they make at this poor boy's expense destroyed my soul. Then there was this whole thing about only princesses can kill evil witches. It didn't go anywhere. The fact that she had a dragon parent didn't. It was. You have a girl being raised by dragons, going to an academy which trains princesses to kill witches. How do you mess up an amazing concept like that? I don't know, but this author managed it, so go and read this piece of hot garbage. It's only, I don't know how much it is. Don't buy this book, borrow it from your library. Just so that you can hurt your eyes on these words. But yeah, those were the 5 worst books that I read in 2018. The ones that were the most disappointing. So comment down below with your worst book. Like, what was the book that was just like, why you do this to me? Why you hurt my soul like this? Tell me. Tell me what was that book for you? What was that book? If you like what you're seeing here, though, and you want to continue to see more, click all those bunnies down below. And goodbye, internet.